So then my grandma starts watching, and then the whole family's there, and we just decided, you know what? Enough is enough. We gotta disclose what's happening. So we went to the president, and after speaking to him, he said some very mean things to us. So we decided we were just gonna quit doing it forever.
No, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So there goes my weekend plans. You know,
Which is
it's
how we
rough.
got you on this show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Erothian Unofficial Spoiler Podcast. I am Van Sexel, and here with me always is.
Sensei Steve here again, people. We've got another guest today, and fresh off the show.
Yeah, man, special guest, our very first cast member, Messi was taken.
Where is he? That's such a dumb joke. Cut that out.
No, that one stays in.
Okay.
That one's staying in there.
Those are just like Scott. Tyrants.
Oh.
There's got to be a change to the setup today because, and I don't understand what happened. Regicide, we have to go through how the heck Kingmaker ended up in the same place they were with our fun little Regicide crossover episode that happened. So
I know nothing about this, so I think the plan here is you guys just had your first cast member on, and I'm just going to sit silent for the first like half hour here and just listen.
oh, don't worry, it's probably not going to take that long because it's all gone bad, basically.
I'll throw in a couple tidbits, like I'll throw in one of those. I'll throw in like, really, you know what I mean? Like I'll get some sound effects for you guys to layer in there if you want. So I'm looking at the notes for it. Excited.
Yeah. Well, these episodes that we're talking about are going to be Kingmaker Season 5, Episode 8, and Regicide Season 5, Episode 8. But it's not really just Regicide. It's like the mega
Season
crossover we've all been waiting for. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Season 4. Damn.
Season 5. You have another time glitch there, Vanna? Vance?
Well, you see, much like Cadus.
It's been years, man. It's been years.
There's an extra season of Regicide out there somewhere that only Vance has seen. I wonder what they were.
So, they came up to the temple, and the Emperor let Kroll see through first. Ellen took a little bit of time, but thanks to his connection to Marty, he was able to get through.
Mm-hmm. And Raywood was the odd man out. He couldn't see the structure, so
yeah.
It's kind of like actually I don't think you're going to be able to be as quiet as you thought you were going to be, Messi. It's kind of like how Elijah was the only one who couldn't see the entrance because Rayron was the only one who couldn't see the entrance.
Maybe it's something with the Moltons.
Well, we're practically related. Raven and I are practically the same person, so yeah. Honestly, I really can't think of any distinguishable differences between us at this point.
I mean, other than a couple of personality quirks, but yeah.
No, I think we're the same.
No, yeah, especially what's going on with the Discord right now. Oh man. Afterwards, so Kroll and Ilin are both looking for entrances to the ziggurat, and Rayrin is like, "Cool, I can't see it, so I'm just gonna chill here." And then 12 soldiers walk up on him.
Yeah. Turns out that if you piss off a commander in front of his troops and that sort of thing, maybe the troops will take affront to it.
Yeah, they all got crossbows, and they're all like...
Well, half of them are crossbows, half of them are swordsmen, but yeah.
True. Yeah. So it's half and half. And they're all like, "Hey, asshole, we're going to take you out today." And, Rayrin verbally jabs at him, and then they go, "It's fight time." And then a huge fight happens. Which I kind of didn't see the party walking away from.
Well, considering the number of curses and trump cards and fortune's favors that flew that episode.
Messi, you might be surprised. That was all Aklo. Aklo dropped 5 curses. And,
no, I dropped one of the curses. I'll be fair there. I dropped one of them. But
good job, Steve.
Aklo dropped everything else. More or less.
There were 5 curses in the trump card, dude.
Very, very brave taking on Kingmaker like that. I have to commend you.
I mean, Kingmaker's had 3 trump cards at once at one point, so...
Thank you for your service. That's all I'm saying. Appreciate it. Someone's got to be the guy to hit Kingmaker when they're down, and since there's a treaty between parties, so like I can't do anything to them, they can't do anything to me. We, I'm glad that you guys are taking the initiative on that.
I never saw no treaty.
Yeah, so they're basically only able to take down the party because take them down because
Well,
shout outs to Ilan, who's basically the healer tank in the entire fight.
yeah, it's kind of thing. There's also something we should mention that they're all life linked. Um, the party members are all life linked. And all of a sudden, Kroll disappears from the life link.
Oh yeah.
And then next thing, Ryan realizes is that he's fighting like 8 of the guards all by himself because Ellen's disappeared too.
These due to creatures that Elijah experienced in the past. The
Bean people.
fa-
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I've
the
encountered those
phasing.
too. Yeah, I think they're called temporal filches. I think that's what they're called, which is a really freaking weird name, but oh well.
Yeah, they're fun. They're
Yeah.
fun.
But without the temporal felchers, they wouldn't have gotten to the ziggurat. So you know.
Filches, yeah. Mm.
So is it a curse or is it a blessing? You never really know with these things. Sometimes Rayron, when he does his best, something bad happens, and when he does his worst, something good happens. It's just it's yin and yang. You
Yeah.
got to take the good with the bad. And in this case, I think the beans did a good job. I wish they had done more damage, possibly killed them all. That would have been cool. We do what we can.
Well, they definitely put Kroll on his back foot. Poor Kroll. So yeah, it ended up being Rayron having to fight and kill all the soldiers by himself, and then Mummy turns around to find out where the heck everyone disappeared to. Oh, now you can see the ziggurat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
and he gets really sick.
Yep. I think one of the curses came in there because he got really sick. He couldn't do anything.
It's so
Yeah, dude,
embarrassing.
that sucked.
I just want you to imagine in a campaign where you pass it like a DC 20 or a DC 25 uh, check, you pass it only to throw up all over yourself and fall down unconscious. And that's the good side effect. Yes, good job, you did it. Here's your yesterday's lunch.
Yeah, that's also the side effect of a nat 20. So
Well, yeah, they should
or
have
a
gone for the
crit
crit success. Yeah.
matter.
Good thing with Pathfinder though is that they can build up. So if they don't have a crit success thing, if they get a 1, they can get higher than just the 1.
Yeah,
Like
that's true. That's
they
true.
can get, because one of the characters I had in the things has a plus 18 to stealth, so he can't fail stealth if he gets the thing. So
Yeah, I agree. I do think some people are cowardly and choose to go that route. But I and my team, we decided we were going to take the crit success and fails. And honestly, I think we've had nothing but good things come from it. I can't think of a bad thing ever that's happened from this, especially not
I
at
can
the end of.
I can think of
So,
one to
yeah.
OPS at the moment, but
No, no, they're all good. They're all good.
they've all
Yeah,
worked out in
Even
the
our
end.
ones.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so while he's debilitated, Kroll comes back with a filcher. Oh.
Mhm.
Kroll doesn't have any armor and Kroll doesn't have any weapons. He's
Like
one of those.
Oh
he's
Right,
leaving in the future.
because what the filters do is they move you forward about, I think it was 6 or 7 rounds,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like in terms of time, sort of thing. So Raven's on the ground puking his guts out. Well, Kroll pops up again. And then, like a round later, Ellen pops up again, and Kroll's getting beaten the hell out of by the one filcher with him, and Ellen's setting the other one on fire.
Yeah.
I gotta start watching Kingmaker because I really like to watch them all get just beat up. I love it.
Yeah, so Ellen was able to pull the Emperor out, and Kroll was able to pull the Emperor out and do all the punching for him, and run away to Ellen so Ellen can heal him, and Ellen able to use Scorching Rays a couple of times against the one that's attacking him, and then the one that's attacking him jumped on Raven's back.
Yeah.
And
Ilan seems like a good guy.
Oh yeah,
I'm
he's
sure nothing
definitely
bad will happen to him.
he's MVP of the party,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
during
I'm glad.
combat.
I'm glad he's around.
I mean, he probably did do the most damage. He did the most healing, and he probably took like close to the most damage other than Kroll.
He gets MVP trophy for this session. I mean, for this combat. So
Last one for Kingmaker. Dun, 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 dun.
I just wanted to say, I think one of the reasons that the party struggled with this fight for so much was because they weren't prepared, like Regicide, to do combat. Like Regicide
Yeah,
is always prepared to do combat. These guys
yeah,
have been
we're never
sitting
taken by
around.
surprise.
Yeah. These guys have just been sitting around for the last like 3 years, never entering combat except for a war, and then their skills didn't really matter. So
Yeah, war doesn't really count. No one really dies in war, so not a lot of
nah,
combat happens. Yeah.
not at all. All the
Unless
NPCs are
you're
alive.
opposing Rayron. But that's a case of someone doesn't know that you should probably let the enemy run away. You should let some of them live. Maybe you won't be so. Uh,
Listen,
Like one
they
guy.
let one live, and that's all that matters. that one, that one guy. They let the most important one live. King.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that they're, turn a new leaf. This could be a new chapter for Kingmaker. One where they start doing good.
Mm, yeah. No.
Well, who want to see
Absolutely.
it?
I agree.
Oh.
I'll stop. I'm setting up for something else. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
No, it's a good bit actually. So after they kill the temporal fleshers, they line up all the bodies, and that is how
Oops.
they line up all the bodies on the step of a ziggurat, and that's how
Yep.
we go to regicide.
It's crazy. If they wouldn't have done that, if they had like hidden the bodies somewhere, I'm not sure we would have done what we did. You know?
Yeah,
One of
this,
the
this ideally was them trying to hide it, but they were thinking about, this is how we saw the keep when we couldn't see through it. Maybe no one else will see them if we put them here, and weren't counting on the fact that you guys are coming behind them and could see through it.
Mm, yeah, well, it was also like at first a respectful thing, wasn't it? Like they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna respectfully
Oh, I'm sure that was the case with some of them.
line these guys up in the hot sun." But from there we can jump straight into regicide.
Yeah. I don't honestly. I don't even remember how we started the episode because it was we. Did we immediately start with traveling?
Yep.
Yeah, you're immediately traveling over. So that sort of.
Okay. Yeah. So here's a little behind the scenes. Uh, I don't know if you guys knew this. You probably did, but I'll say it anyway. Daelric was like, "Yeah, you guys have like 15 minutes, and we're gonna get you in the temple. Like 15 minutes. That should be plenty of time to get you guys in the temple." And he told all the Kingmaker crew, he was like, "All right, guys, we're starting at this time. Be there at this time. I will have them there in 15 minutes. Don't worry." I think
Yeah.
it took like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Kingmaker types in the chat that we have like a little lounge chat. They type in and they go, "Scott, you told us to be ready 30 minutes ago. What is happening?" They're still traveling. They haven't even got to the temple yet, Scott. And then who was it? I think it was Tyler. Tyler was like, "Hey, blame Messi." I'm like, "I didn't do anything." And then, but anyway, we figured it out. We got there on time, and it ended up being okay because Neil was asleep. Neil didn't know
Yeah.
his alarm didn't go off. So
I mean that explains the reason that Speak with Dead was
Rushed, yeah.
was yeah,
There's so many arguments in chat about freaking. Wait, no, are they
yeah,
using? They can't be using um, 5e rules for that, can they? No, they're probably using Pathfinder rules, but then they can't do it. They can't do it rapid fire in quick succession like
like
that.
that. Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, that was Scott just being like, "I don't care. Just ask what you need to ask. You'll figure it out anyway. Just shut up. Go in the stupid temple." Yeah, that was cool.
yeah, we had little Barnsey finding out about the corpses like immediately.
Oh, quick thing, Steve. So last night's episode was 6 hours long. My notes stopped somewhere around hour two, three.
Oh no.
Um,
Oh
we're
I
not
dear.
can't.
going over this in sequential order like we just did for Kingmaker. No, we're just gonna like
The high
highlight
notes.
key parts, yeah, and just talk about them because if we go over everything, we will be here for like 2 hours.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. When it's 3 a.m., um, and we still got people from Australia in the chat, like in voice call, and the sun's coming up behind them, and it's like, oh god. And he's like, yeah, it's like noon here now. I'm like, oh no.
I think that yeah, because me and Vance have played in a patient game. I think this happened a couple of times because those ones are like freaking. They started around about like 1 or 2 in the morning for me, and it's freaking the sun was literally coming
Yeah.
up behind me. Is the thing, yeah.
It's great living in the same time zone as the DM because everything works on your time zone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yep.
he's like, hey, Regicide and Kingmaker are meeting up. That means you guys are going to go on Regicide time, or you're not going to participate. Great.
Yeah. I mean,
Cool.
if they hadn't participated, they might not have been all on different planes at this point.
Honestly, not showing up for this episode might have saved you, Kingmaker, if you're listening. Honestly. Whoops.
If Aaron said, then he wouldn't have gone to those.
So not much happens outside the temple. Let's just skip through it. I mean, we talked to the Dead Skull. We asked it some questions.
You had
They told us to figure out ways
the
for
Get
training.
screwed. Yeah, you get
exoneration.
screwed out of one cast.
Yeah. We got a little bit of a rule bend there. That's cool. David was cool. He was like, "Yeah, hey, I'll slide you guys an extra spell. That's fine. Just hurry up, because she gets a little testy if you take too long." And we're like, "Okay, thanks for the heads up, David."
There's that little offer of exoneration there, and then the whole bad deception roll.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Ophios is dead, isn't he? No, he is dead, isn't he?
He's like the wind. You never really know. He could be here, he could be there. You can't ever see him. He feels effects.
I'm surprised Elijah didn't go with that. That yeah. I mean, I said I had access to his skull the entire time. I never lied.
It didn't matter. I'll do that when I get out of the temple. I'm still in there, so yeah, that's gonna be a hard sell.
Fortunately, he's an egg, so they can't really tell that as him. You can just say that you
Oh,
found it.
no, Ophios is dead for sure. I wasn't lying. By the way, this egg that we found is completely unrelated. We're taking it with us. Bye. Thanks for exonerating us. I'm sure that'll be exactly how it goes. Be like, oh, okay, yeah, see you guys.
Because I don't think they saw Ophios enter the temple in the first place. So
Yeah,
Oh, the
That-
exoneration was for bringing Raven out, dude.
Yeah.
Raven's gone.
Mm.
So
yeah. Well, Cadus will back us up.
yeah.
yeah, they're likely to believe Cadus at least.
Yeah, but she
Yeah,
she seems like a woman who reads the contract like 3 times just to get make sure she can
No,
find loopholes in it.
her and I are tight. We got it. We figured it out. I will say I was a little nervous about bringing Cadus in his condition. His
Mhm.
condition. I'm air quoting there if people can't see. I was like, in my head, I was like, maybe I should tell Cadus to wait outside and say, Cadus doesn't need to come in with us. But I'm so glad he came in because
Oh yeah.
just quick
Oh
spoiler.
yeah.
Sorry, he went in an old crippled man, and he came out a young buck. He looks great. Feels like $500. You know what I mean? Like if he was a penny, he feels like $1 trillion now. We walked out of. We're gonna walk out of there. He's gonna have like his cane and his hat. He's gonna be like swinging around gold chains. He's like, yeah, I got it. I know what's going on. Barnes, don't even worry about it. And he's gonna back us up, and we're gonna leave it. Everything's gonna be fine.
Time Temple Spa, walk out feeling 4 years younger.
I'm 44 now. Oh shit! I should cut that out. We'll get there. Yeah. So skip the questions because that didn't matter at all.
Oh yeah. Not at all. You guys asked. Well, let's say what you asked real quick. It was what is this temple for? Dude says for training, and then Arena asked why are the Lopers here? He says, what do you mean we were born here? And then she asked how he died, and he says I passed the first 3 tests, and then I died on the last.
Yeah, well, it wasn't last. It was
It was the next, yeah.
Next.
but I mean, for him, it was the last. So.
Because that one was 2 cells. There's that like bar cells, and there's the mirror thing. You're supposed to concentrate whichever one it was that you're really good with, and use that to get you and the person that you're with out.
Mm.
So you're both supposed to be working together on something like that. So the other corpse in there that you didn't take the skull of was probably that one was never heard from again, at least.
Speaking of never heard it from again, what about that soldier who was totally in the temple with them all and then just disappeared all of a sudden?
I'm sure he's just chilling downstairs, drinking an iced tea, waiting for us to come down.
Now that you said that, I'm just imagining that they drank from that, they made the tea from that pool.
Oh yeah.
We come out, he's just like, I know everything. We're like, oh no.
It's been years. He probably shit his brains out right
Here's a
now.
barrel.
Oh, that poor bloody
Don't fill it up.
storeroom. That poor bloody storeroom.
For people who don't know what we're talking about, inside the temple, because oh look, we're in the temple now. Let's just jump to there. Oh, we're in the temple now.
Yeah.
Um, so we walk in, our party walks in, and who was it? Kroll hears something, and he
Yeah,
turns
Kroll.
around.
Yeah.
We hear something, and we look forward, and we're like, oh, there's someone else here. Both sides at the same time. Nani?
And Ryan walks out with a sword drawn.
Yeah, well, of course he does. And then Ophios walks out with his sword drawn. So it's, yin and yang. Like I said, we're all the same party, just we're better.
If only Kingmaker hadn't used up all those spell slots before they went in there.
Yeah, well, I'm sure things would have been completely the same. So then we have a little heart-to-heart moment. Not really. Hold on. I'm
Yeah.
looking at your notes here. These are very insightful.
I was expecting Rena to have some more to say, but she was actually pretty quiet, which I think.
Yeah. I think
Go
that's
ahead.
a more of a meta thing than it was an in-game thing. It's because it's there's 6 people now. Not everyone
Mhm.
gets the same amount of voice lines that they should have. If it was just 3. So yeah, I think that's just unless you wanted to be there another 6 hours, then yeah, of course we could have done it. But we just wanted to. I think we were all like, yeah, we know we got to do a lot today, and there's only so
It
much
was
time.
6 hours.
Yeah, I will let you know now. Scott had more things planned for us to do that he had to cut out, like several more things. He was like, "Yeah, we got through most of what I wanted to do," and I was like, "Oh my god!" In an alternate timeline, we're up at 8 a.m. still going, still rolling, but not this timeline. This timeline, I got to sleep, which was nice.
So, dude, I was up for about almost 31 hours because they just
Oh
called
no!
me into work last night, and they were like,
Oh,
"Hey, can you come into work?" And I was like, "I guess." So that's the reason I stopped taking notes.
that's rough.
So yeah, when I got home, I immediately like took a nap for like 2 hours. So that is why my notes aren't as much as they
They're
could be.
pretty good. They're pretty good. I don't take notes at all, so seeing notes that's new to me, and this is already blowing my mind.
He does do good notes.
Yeah, he does. Um, yes, we all introduce ourselves. We have that short discussion. Do we want to go over? We just kind of did some lore swapping.
Yeah, lore
We all got
softening.
some pieces of the puzzles we didn't have filled in.
Like
Ophios and Ray went butting heads for a little bit in there as well. But yeah,
oh yeah,
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 that's,
that's
both of them.
those two were the people that we knew were going to do that anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I was gonna bring up Elijah outing Rayron about his quote unquote familiar.
Oh yeah. So, sorry. More deep cuts. At the end of the stream, we all like hang out for like 10 minutes in that voice chat and in Zoom, and Neil was like, the last thing he said right before we ended the call was he was like, Messi, I can't believe that you said the name of the, and then it cut out. And I had no idea what he was talking about. And I was too tired to message him. So I was like, wait, is there more happening? And I'm just dumb. Like, what is he talking about? What did I reveal? But now that you said the imp thing, yeah, that's probably what he was talking about. Yeah.
We definitely do.
He's mad about that. So that's how I know I did good.
Well, the best part about it was that Rayron had asked for the Hell Axe back from Rena, And
Mm.
they were talking, and she was like, "Oh, I thought this was a gift," and he was like, "Yeah, just to keep you alive." And then you immediately interrupt that conversation talking about the imp, and Rena never gives the axe back because of that.
We
So
still
she's
got it,
so
baby. We still got it, baby. That's when Regicide gets things done. Let's go filibuster it.
I mean,
Oh,
he
That worked
might
out.
have been able to use it where he's gone, but I don't think he's the X type anyway. So it probably fits better with Rena still. Yeah.
oh yeah.
We'll hold on to it for him. When he gets out of wherever he is, we'll give it back. We'll get there. That's like season 8, maybe. Figure it out.
The thing is, it wasn't his to give in the first place.
True.
It was actually Jake's other characters, but the one that went to another plane first. So once that one comes back and finds out that his ex is missing.
Yeah, I hope they all meet up wherever they are. But let's not jump there yet. We have like 4 hours of roleplay to get through first. I know we all want to get to the high notes of what happened at the end. We're all just, legs shaking, jumping up and down in our chairs. But let's I mean, these notes are good. We should use them, you know?
So,
Use what
what
we
were
got.
some of the high points about that conversation between you and Rayron in the beginning that stuck
Well,
out to you?
it's strange because he won't admit it, but he clearly has deep feelings for one. Clearly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah, he traveled back in time. He saw one, back when he met one for the first time, and he's like, huh, now that I'm on this water magic and I can travel back in time and see things, I clearly see that this person has feelings for one. So he goes back to the present. He's like, hey, I'm no matchmaker, but one and this girl that follows him around seem to be pretty well entitled to one another. And Rayron's like, yeah, he has that effect on people. That's you
Yeah.
don't say that unless you don't. That's not like a. You can't just go around saying that to. Like I don't know how to explain myself here, but like if someone's like, hey, dude, like your friend is pretty attractive, I guess, and he's like, yeah, he's so hot. It's like, okay, one of us clearly is a little, you know, it's got some feelings, and I was just making an observation. He was the one who put his opinion out there, so I think that is clear. You
Chat
know,
definitely jumped on that one straight away.
so maybe if this, maybe if
I
they
mean,
find each other again, they could have something, something budding there.
uh,
Maybe Chat could help him. Hey, Chat, you two are part of Chat in my mind, but everyone else in Chat too. Maybe
uh,
drop some trump cards, some blessings, some curses. Try to make that love blossom.
Yeah, love is definitely
find the
gonna
ghost of that banjo.
It's right next to me.
love is fortune's favor.
Yeah, maybe they come across a mage it's got really powerful spells. Does a lot of like charm magic. You never know. Maybe when they're under the effects of this love potion, they truly can speak from the heart. I think there's some openings. I think you guys
Oh
can
yeah,
make it happen.
Yeah.
love potions always help all the passions out.
Yeah, I,
Definitely.
I can't think of a single time they failed. Anyway, so that's my no adverse side effects from a love potion ever. In no history, media, any kind of form of love potion has it ever not worked out. So I
One
think
hundred
that
percent.
should definitely be the avenue to go. So that's something I'd love to see happen.
If
That's
there's
my call
ever
to action.
if there's ever a place to ask Rena to make something canon, that'd be probably it.
You saw the way he was blushing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has that effect on people. Here now. I can tell him how I really feel. He said that. That's a direct quote. I'm literally just playing back the audio of the stream right now. That's what's happening. You guys can contest. You guys can see my video. I've got it up.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's
Thanks
true,
for not
man. Oh man.
lying.
So
Okay. Sorry, I just like this note. Elijah asks if he has those feelings for one as well. He says no, but according to that meme by Viking Magoo, yeah,
I thought that meme was canon. I thought it was like the most
it's
canon
canon
version.
now, baby. It's
Yeah.
canon now. I don't know if I can make things canon, but I'll send in a formal request to Rena, and I'm sure we'll get this pat down by the end of the day.
Yeah. We all know that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'm excited. Gets people off Elijah and Rena, by the way. I don't want that to happen.
People are on that.
I'd rather have one and Raven happen than Elijah and Rhea 100%.
yeah.
It's
I
way
thought it
more
was
interesting. And
Cadis and Rena thing.
that works too. Yeah. Everyone keeps trying to ship Rena with everyone else. Like there was the Ophiel's arena for a while, there was Elijah arena for a while, and Cadis arena comes and goes. Frankly, I think Rena should end up with Barnes. That's my push.
Oh, I
I
do
think
too. But
yeah,
Cadis has been really hard, especially last night. There was some
Cadis,
extreme moments.
again, going back to what we were saying before, Cadis feeling young again, he's looking good. I think he can get anyone he wants. I think Cadis he's got an endless supply of people that he could, plenty of fish in his sea. You know what I'm saying? But Rena, she's a little standoffish. She
I
needs to
mean,
take what she can get.
maybe Elijah needs to talk to him about that. Let him know that things aren't as close with Rena as he thinks they are.
Yeah, he knows. He'll probably figure it. Yeah, so we kept the Hell X. That's great. Love that.
So one thing we forgot to go over, and this is important for later on, is that Ilan immediately, well, once they find the room, Ilan immediately like dips his fingers into the water, into
Hmm.
the intelligence water, and he doesn't drink it. But after hearing Elijah's warning, he's like super not gonna drink it at that point, and that is how he becomes attuned with that
Well, no, he goes
power.
back and then dips in it once after he hears the warning. He goes and actually has a proper dip in it, but make sure he doesn't drink any. Yeah,
Well, he was already somewhat attuned to it, right?
no,
That's
he's
one of the things that
affected
were
by
like,
it, and then he got attuned by it from going for the actual, like, properly submerging
Yeah,
himself.
he
yeah.
did the whole. Yeah, he went all the way under and came back up. So I don't know. I don't know where he is now, but he's gonna come off that pretty soon.
I know, I know.
uh,
Uh,
for people who do know where he is now, sure it's not a good place to,
Yeah,
come off high like that.
no, not at
Bad,
all.
bad trip. Yeah,
especially not with as few spell slots as he has.
yeah. I'm sure he'll be fine. Just fail the dice roll. That's all. Can't die from that. Who's ever died from
I
failing a
mean,
dice roll?
we'll get to it eventually, but he didn't really want to go to either of those places.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll just. Well, sorry. Yeah, I'm getting ahead. See, now I'm the guy jumping in my seat. I'm sorry.
Uh,
So yeah, after a while talking, they get the idea of there's enough of us here. Everyone could attune to something, and maybe that will help us when we get to the top. So we had Ellen
that
getting
was
attuned to the water. It was Ophius was to the telekinetic barrier room. Elijah had
Hmm.
the why'd you have to go to the storeroom? Why'd you have to go back to the storeroom after that?
I just can. I'm just a master of poo dust. That's what that comes down to. So I went to the room that Rena, lost her brains in last time we were here, and I scooped them up and I put them in a jar, and I take it with me. That's my power. I have a jar of Rena's brain dust. Okay, so real talk. It lets me control a lot of the structures in the building, and yeah,
Yeah,
what was it called? It was like planal dust or
it's
something.
astral. Yeah,
astral plane material. Mhm.
Astral plane material. That's it. Yeah. So uh, quick discrepancy. I thought it was something different. I thought it was just like concrete mix that I could use and just make stuff happen. Like I didn't realize that I could make anything with it. So I just want to preface that for when we get to the end, because a lot happens at the end. All this ties up at the end.
Mhm.
And
Oh yeah.
the reason I didn't do the thing that everyone was telling me to do was because I didn't know I could.
well,
So I'm
that's
sorry.
absolutely fair because this is like the third time outside of like Dark Sun, my run through the temple, and this one are the only times I've been out in Silence, so I don't really know. Like we didn't really do any of the crafting shit. So
Yeah, I might speak to uh, Daelric about retconning that because I feel really bad, and it's not a good look for me and my brand to leave someone like that, um, and just be like, "Yeah, I'll go downstairs. I'll leave you alone. Okay, bye," and I run off, and then I can't do anything, and I'm like, "Well, that's dumb." So I'm hoping Daelric will. It was 3 a.m. guys. Come
I
on,
know,
cut
Yeah.
me a break. It's 3 a.m. I don't know anything. Okay, I'm a low int player. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And that's the NPC that Daelric made me feel sorry for. Sorry, NPC.
It was also around
But
about that time where Jake had to duck out as well for him.
Oh yeah, going back to the temple. Yes, after we all started tuning to things, Jake had to dip out. Yeah.
Fortunately,
I'm
he was playing a character that had a ghost inside him that could take over. So
That's convenient.
yeah, that's just convenient when you have to suddenly have to dip out of a campaign for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And this
For
is
an
where we
and
start
then
episode.
taking note.
while we have you here, what was some of the arguments that convinced Elijah to actually go along with, hey, let's investigate this place that could possibly kill you? I mean, lore wise, obviously we know meta wise you had to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
it.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't have a choice. Daelric has my child captive, and no. Um, Meta-wise was definitely a big draw to it. I think in game, I was trying not to address it because I didn't want to go off and explain it and be like, "Oh, well, because of all this stuff," and like people be like, "That's stupid. He shouldn't do that." So I was kind of leaving it open ended why he would do that. But honestly, probably because Rena, Ophios, and Cadus all wanted to, and when he's
Smart.
outvoted, he's one of those people that's like, even if he's outvoted, the plan needs to work. So if there's a different plan that everyone else wants to go with, and his is outvoted on, he's not going to be the guy who's like, well, you do it for yourself. You're on your own. He's going to do his best to make that plan work.
Yeah.
And in this case, well, let's when we
Well,
get to the end, we'll talk about how well the plan worked.
From my side, it worked fine. I don't know what she's talking about.
Well,
and,
for
and
some
then
people, for
yeah.
one person,
And
two, I
then
guess. And
Tyler
then
was a little annoyed because Ryan ended up getting attuned to the teleportation power. The one, but
Yeah.
it's like one of the powers you didn't want him to have. It was just like,
he snuck in and
yeah,
did it to himself.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yep.
if it'd been there with everyone with about upfront about it and that sort of thing, things could have gone differently, definitely. But things happen the way they happen.
Sure, I feel like maybe there's like one that I would be okay with Rayron having. It would probably be the barrier thing that Ophios took, just because it seems to be the one that suits him the least. But he wasn't going to pass that skill check,
Mm.
so there's not a lot he can do. There's only a few that work well for him that he can pass, or rather, there's only a few that he could pass that don't work well for him, and that's like I don't want him in the water. I don't want
You know
him in
that
the.
that would have definitely been the scariest one if Ryan had been in the water.
Yeah, I mean, the best case scenario, he swaps with me. I guess that would make more sense. I guess for what we wanted to accomplish, but it all worked out. It's fine.
Mm.
Nothing went horribly
Yeah.
wrong there.
Ellen actually having that ability to read people is probably the best thing because Ellen is he's not a
He's
pacifist, but he's a moderator.
he's a good guy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Peacekeeper for sure. Saved our ass. I guess from infighting, I should say.
Yeah, yeah, that was going to happen if he didn't. That's definitely the two personalities of Rayron and Orpheus. Those two definitely going to think. But yeah,
So because of the length of the thing, and we're still basically in the beginning, you guys want to move ahead a little bit to some
Yes,
interesting
yeah.
bits you guys found? Yeah.
So just a quick recap. We thought that getting all the attunements in the temple, attuning to all the special powers, would somehow give us the ability to fix time. So that's what the plan was. We went and we all tuned to something, and then we went on the first floor, and then we went upstairs and we all tuned on the second floor. And Kroll made an interesting discovery. Take it away, one of you two, please.
yeah. So the Emperor was able to actually get control of the vision room where he was able to bring people with him. So go back in time a little bit. Okay, go back in time to first it was where you guys first went through, then when my guys went through, and then way back, way back.
Yeah.
And Orpheus tells the Olympus that I will kill you all. It's just
Yeah,
it's like
some teacher was showing his students how to use the room, and he's like, "Wait, there's people here that I can see?" And he's like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And one of the students is like, "Is that a snake person? This is 2,000 years ago. I hope we don't discover snakes 2,000 years ago instead of recent times. I'm sure that won't alter history in any way, shape, or form. Whoa, what is that?" And Ophios is like, I'm a snake. I'm gonna freaking stab you in the eyes. I'm gonna rip out your esophagus and find a new place to put it. The guy's like, oh, and then we all went back to the even further back.
Mm.
So I feel like that was like I understand Ophios being mad and like threatening to kill a child. That's fine. That's normal. But did it have to be a Loper child from 2,000 years ago that could easily just be like, "Hey, master, I saw this snake guy," and he's like, "Whoa, we should prepare for that." And then they get
Yeah,
2,000 years of prep time to
yeah,
kill Ophios.
yeah. It's like
It just
maybe he
it's a
started
bad
the whole
idea.
freaking cycle.
Yeah, maybe he was the catalyst that started this whole Sloper thing.
Because
That'd
everyone's
be
going
crazy.
that he's that he might be his own great times of times 100 or so freaking grandfather with when the mole found him when he went through the statue before. So he
Yeah.
also
Oh,
started the war with the Lopers too.
that'd be crazy if Ophios was the alpha and the omega. Wow.
Yeah. I,
Is this going to make sense to people who haven't seen the episode? Do they know what's happening right now? Because I'm a little bit. Even I'm like, these jokes are a little meta. Like maybe
Well,
we should.
this is the spoiler podcast, so we kind of like just talk about so that we can get discuss talk about things so we can get discussions in chat, which we kind of don't have to spark this week because
Yeah.
they have been stopped.
don't worry, there's just a
Oh.
little bit more fuel to that flame to keep it going.
Yeah, it's going to be going for a while
Yeah,
across the
it's
whole world, possibly multiple worlds. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, so they go and see Abstergo 13 was up the top, all through
Mhm.
different points of time.
Yeah.
So I felt like some
I
people
was
were
so
starting to
looking
get
forward to
bored.
it.
Well, I was saying that some people started getting bored a little bit, and they were like, let's just do some combat because they were all about seeing those statues, regardless of
Oh
what.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know why they wanted to do that. I was like, guys, do not look behind the wall. What are you doing? It will literally kill you. I've seen it 1,000 times. Literally,
no,
I've seen you all die 1,000 times. Well, two of you die 1,000 times. So please don't look behind the curtain or you will die 1,001 times.
Yeah, Chaos isn't an ordinary NPC; he's a villain, so he's probably a little bit hardier. But he hadn't de-aged at that point. He was still his fucked up self. All Kingmaker
Yeah.
all used like half their spell slots, and that thing is pretty much immune to most magics.
Yeah.
So
well, at that point, Caden,
Why am I
at that
babysitting
point,
these guys? Go ahead.
because you're Elijah. That's why. See, okay, I wanted to bring this up. Last episode, for the podcast, I was talking about how Elijah is like, like the wise one in like kids cartoons and anime.
Come
You
on,
got
dude.
that wise party guy. That's what
Yeah.
Elijah is like. And now, well, he's the older one, and Rena's more like you keep saying on the show, the protagonist of the
Yeah.
show. And now it's come to pass. Now, don't want to spoil it, but
All right, guys. Who cursed me? Who was that?
it wasn't me.
Come on. Who was it?
I took them my curse as freaking Kingmaker.
Oh man.
If I do find out who it is, send me their address. I'm gonna go John Wick on their house.
I know that there's a new person in chat that's like, oh, I can use curses. But
Yeah.
The new person
Well,
in chat.
they
You
weren't new, but it was I think that was their first time using a curse.
for that one, yeah.
That's a bad curse to make, buddy. You picked on the wrong sorcerer or wizard. Anyway, yeah. So we
Well,
talked to Baldy.
that was an interesting conversation that Ellen and Elijah had about Guinevere. Also, I was hoping some more things would come out of that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it wasn't really a conversation. It was a
Yeah, just more of the same. How is she? No, don't tell me.
I was saying that I think Ellen should have said something anyway. Okay, I'm gonna say how I feel. I think Elijah does care about her well-being, but he's, it's kind of like that. I care if she's doing well, but I'm still kind of a little bit angry about the whole situation thing. You
So,
don't have to say if you don't want to, obviously, but
well, Elijah's smart. You know, he's got a brain in him, and he knows that he wasn't the first or the last person that's going to be experimented on. You know, that's pretty obvious. He also knows he's probably not the first or the last wave of experiments. There's going to be other experiments. Um, so in his mind, she is one of the people who enabled it, you know, and
mm,
allowed it. Now, of course, she was nice to him, and he doesn't know this, but she did some stuff for him behind the scenes that was helpful. Um, but you know, in his mind, she's part of that group, even if she was the nicest one. You
mm,
know, the one that he wouldn't mind if they all died, that she doesn't. You know, but it's definitely not like a situation that he cares for her to doing well. He more or less wants to hear that it's not happening anymore, and the only
okay.
person he can get that answer from is her. So, you know,
Yeah, that's
you
right.
know, you guys have all we've all been experimented on one way or another. You know, we've all been there.
Oh
Very
yeah,
relatable experience. Yeah.
it's a common occurrence in America, actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
No
Um,
comment.
quick, quick kingmaker thing though. One of the reasons that, and I actually forgot this for a second. One of the reasons that Ilan didn't say anything was because Ilan made a promise not to say anything, um, not to let the information that she gave him to get out. Now, I don't know if you want to watch it or whatever, so I'm not going to spoil anything. But she told Ilan basically everything, and he promised her that information wouldn't get out. That's why he looked over to Raven, and then he stopped talking. That was
Yeah,
the.
I think I saw that episode. That was the one where at the beginning, that was like that was it was Kingmaker on Wednesdays, right? And then
Mhm.
on Friday when we played, I told Scott, I was like, "Hey Scott, I watched Kingmaker this week." And he was like, "Oh?" And I was like, "Yeah. Tell me, Scott, why do I get more lore about my characters in other people's shows? Why does that happen?" And he's like, "Oh." So I think I know everything, but I try not to follow Kingmaker like completely because I do want to be surprised because like stuff like this, it was great. Like the ending, there was so much new puzzle pieces I got where I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. And Scott's sitting there with just this big grin. He's like, yeah, you figured it out. You know, Scott loves to see his players try. So
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to not cheat in this game of D&D by looking up the lore online. Quite literally.
So yeah,
Like
they,
even when I listen to your podcast sometimes, sorry, even when I listen to this podcast sometimes, I will listen to Regicide and be like, yeah, that's cool. I like that. And then I'll jump to the end because I don't want to hear
Oh,
what happened in the other campaigns because I don't want to get spoiled.
that's fair.
So yeah, yeah.
So I'm sure other people probably do the same for whichever shows they're on, as long as they hear at the start that yeah, the show didn't happen this week, so they're not wasting their time.
Again, jeez, he's put down his Doxy #1 flag.
Uh,
Takes off his Doxy #1 hat. Puts on Raven #2. All right. What happened in Kingmaker?
yeah, I mean,
oh man.
yeah, at least having the freaking setup for it, so everyone knows that that's how it's going to go. That's
Yeah. No, I
that's
give
how
her a
far
lot of. I like to throw around a lot of trash talk, but they know I only mean it most of the time.
I feel so bad for Josh.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh man.
so
All
I'm
right,
gonna
so
team Josh right now and just ask him how Vaku's doing, just to see.
Kingmaker would know actually, but they're all on a different plane.
Oh,
so
buddy.
let's talk about some of that Abstergo 13 stuff, dude. that
Because they also,
Yeah,
just one little thing before that was that they had managed to go back in time where the books were still whole up top to
mm,
but yeah. So the book, there was a series of 6 books,
yeah,
and the one that they were reading was about how to possibly achieve immortality,
yeah.
and the idea of
There's
if
the
you're
body
alive
one.
at the time
Yeah,
if your body doesn't age, do you still age? And it's like, Chat, what do you think? And there you go. There you go. I helped you guys out.
yeah,
Hey, Chat, in this scenario, would you age? Would you get old? Would you be young forever? Would you mature at all? How much is body? How much is mind? Then again, it kind of depends on the magics at play, right? It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely because mm, uh, some maturity can be chalked up to you not being able to do the shit you could do when you were 16. So
yeah, true. Yeah, if you're stuck as a baby forever, do you turn into boss baby? Like, is that just
I
the
guess no fans can find out.
is that what happens when you peak? Do you come out? Do you come out and you're like, oh, I'm 2 years old, goo goo gaga, and then like you don't age, like you don't grow up, so you stay like 3 feet or whatever. But how tall is a baby? Like a foot? You stay like a foot tall.
yeah,
What is that in what is that in metric? Like a half a meter? Is a baby about half a meter?
2 meters is 6 feet, so probably under half a meter.
So 1 meter is yeah, so under half a meter. Yeah, great.
yeah.
Yeah. So you got a half meter tall person, and you're like, all right, go live in a world now. You're 40 years old. He's like wearing a suit and a tie and a fedora, and he's like got a suitcase. I'm ready to go work for my living. And he walks outside, and it's like, would that happen, or would it be a baby forever? You know, who knows? Like, because if the mind doesn't mature, like through aging, would it just be a baby forever? Would there be something you get from experience that you can't get from?
They wouldn't be able to walk.
They wouldn't be able to drive.
Well,
Time to crawl to work. Goodbye, honey. Drops on all fours, starts crawling downstairs.
Uh, so there's that.
Honey,
And
you left the baby gate. I can't get out the door. The baby gate's latched. Also, I did send that thing to Unfunny One, and he just responded, and he sent me a emoji of someone shrugging. So
he
it's
was
cool.
last seen. He was last seen amongst the guards in Horde Queen. So you guys probably could have bumped into him at some point while you're running away. But
It'll be all
maybe
right.
Jan
Nothing bad's ever happened to Baku.
one bad thing, but yeah, one bad thing.
I think meeting us was the best thing that ever happened to him. So I don't know what you're referring to.
Well, it definitely did go downhill after that. I would say that.
I think we set him on the right path. I don't think anything bad could have happened to him after he left us.
After
And,
you guys
you know,
just walking tall, and after after meeting Kingmaker, he was hopping away. Just put it that way.
you know what? Vaku's the kind of guy that no matter what happens to him, he'll always stand on his own 2 feet. You know what I mean? He'll always push himself back up from the ground when he's down.
It's fortunate that he's a freaking divine caster, so he has the opportunity to eventually do that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure, he's got his head held high.
yeah, another casualty of war, but yeah, he's still alive.
Another casualty, but he's still alive. Yeah. Don't worry about him.
He's not a fatality. He's technically counted
That's a
wounded
great
amongst the casualties, but yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. I brought us off talking about Josh.
Don't worry, we always do it.
yeah.
Josh, who? You know, like let's get back to what really matters here, which is Kingmaker and Regicide fixing everything and being awesome.
Yeah, because actually things I actually fixed her a little bit, which is nice. But
Well, we'll see.
yeah, yeah, we'll see as to whether or not that continues. But yeah, now we get to
meet up with
Abstergo.
Yes, we meet up with Baldy. He's all meditating in the past, and he's like, "You guys ever see Doctor Strange? You guys ever see Doctor Strange, the
Mhm.
bald lady? You guys ever see Endgame?
Mhm.
I watched Thor, the first one, and I stopped watching Marvel movies pretty much. So
You should try. They're great. Just there's a few you can skip, honestly, but
yeah,
so
it's
in
case of
Endgame,
working at a cinema and like going, yeah, I don't want to watch a movie again.
yeah. No, especially not at a cinema. Yeah, right now. Um, but in Endgame, just to wrap this whole relationship up, uh, I think that we as the party were Hulk, and Abstergo
Yeah.
13 was the time lady who's
Yeah.
like, things don't go exactly the way you want them to if you try. And we're like, we're gonna try, and then she flicked us in the head, and we, you know, some bad stuff happened.
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
that was definitely the situation. Yep.
Ophius is saying that if he's a Lope, he's going to kill him and this thing. I was like, I really want you to fight him now. I really want you to fight him now. I was like, because my character's Jen. She's the one that probably knows him the best at this point. I'm just like, yeah, no, don't, don't do that.
He might turn you into an egg. Be careful. Abstergo 13 has this wonderful power of turning people into eggs, and you don't want that to happen to you. And if you don't fight him, then that can't possibly happen.
Yeah,
Anyway, so Abstergo 13, we're talking to him. Was it gendered as a
yeah,
guy?
it was him. It was him.
Okay.
Pretty sure it was him.
So we're talking to him, and he basically fills us in that, oh, well, I'm the 13th Abstergo. There's 12 before me. And I was like, I knew it. Everyone knew it. Um,
13th
he
generation.
said, yeah, and the Lopers were number 11, right? Is that what he said?
Yeah, yeah. Me and the whole group of us that went before you guys, and that's the thing. Okay, my character being a wizard parent was a level 9, and we know these are 13, and we know that the two Martyr and the Arbiter were 12s. Where the fuck
Wait,
did the
Jen.
Lopers come?
So I've been wanting to ask about this, but I've just been quiet because I didn't want to spoil anything. Jen is number 9.
She's a ninth generation model sort of thing.
What
Because
the hell is that?
magic casters, magic casting
Wait,
sort of cast class sort of thing. So like the arcane casters and that sort of thing.
let's try to figure this out then. Do we know who number 1 is? Do we know who the first one was?
I think it would have just been generic slave sort of type things.
Okay.
And like each one afterwards is more specialized in something else. I think
So,
when I asked, 10 was leaders.
okay,
So,
real quick. The mole, I remember they said that they experimented on their own kind in the
yep.
beginning, and then they stopped doing that. So was that the first iteration then? Was the ones that their own kind that they stopped experimenting on?
Could be,
Could that
but
have been the beginning?
they could technically be generation 0, but or something like
I
that.
guess maybe they started counting after. Yeah, it's possible. And we don't know what's the next newest that we know, because I don't think we know number 2
I
or 3
I
or
think the most we know is 9 as the oldest, being spellcasters, because that's what Jen was specifically told by 13. So
Mm.
I think we asked Scott afterwards what some of the other ones, and 10 was leaders, like because it was a joke of frickin' because Jen was female and him being the thing going, oh, you're a 9. I'm like, no, my character's just not exactly the best looker. That's on the cover for you. Oh, okay. Like, and then someone else was like, so what would a 10 actually have been? And it's like the leadership sort of type of pairing. So
So maybe the person who owns the gate could be number 10 or a number 10.
could have been a 10, yeah, or Barnes could have been a 10 potentially, or something like that. Like that's
This
like
could be a 10.
because it's like what they're specialized for, and so far Barnes is definitely pairing, right? I haven't got that mixed up in
Yeah,
my head.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Barnes.
As far as we know, yeah.
You know who
Yeah,
also might be in number
no, we don't need to talk about that.
10? Giannis'
Yeah,
dad.
yeah. His dad, I don't think is one.
Because we were told
He's
that it was stolen before the Levens. I think I'm remembering it right. The crystal that Jonas' dad, everyone thinks is taken, and that sort of thing.
All right. Yeah.
Everyone
So
thinks it was taken before the Levens. That's what Abstergo reckons. So
yeah, before he was formed for sure.
so
But
that leaves
so
anything before 11.
But the dad, okay, so Yandis's mom told him that the dad needs the crystal to not age.
Mhm.
So I wonder if she's obviously a Loper, right? I wonder if she took it to keep him alive so that they could be together. You know?
That's potential.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
but then I don't know how they do children. I don't know how Yondis fits into any of that. Is he even biologically theirs? Could he be half Loper? Like, who knows? You know?
Well, you have siblings. I mean, you had
Yeah,
siblings.
I
You
have a
well,
younger brother.
you have a current sibling, but you had siblings in the past. So
That's one way to think about it. Yeah, but and the Jonas' mother also said before that she's not the first one. For so
yeah,
I
that's
think that
true.
means that he's the one that definitely took the crystal. If she's not the first one.
Mm, it's possible. But so Giannis's siblings though weren't from these parents because he was, or at least from, I'm not sure how the marriage works. If he has siblings, they can't be from the same two parents in this
So it'd be
time.
half siblings.
'Cause
Or,
he wasn't, yeah,
yeah,
maybe a half sibling because he was a Metahina until his younger brother was born,
yeah.
and so I'm not sure
Medaheen is
how the
always the
relationship works.
youngest, and then when siblings younger than you is born, they take the Medaheen one. And the only other
Yeah,
way to get rid of that is to do something impressive.
One of the reasons that Yondas is a Metahina, though, is because his father's hiding the fact that he's been alive for probably over 2,000 years.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So it's possible he has older siblings for sure. Yeah, um, maybe Barnes is one. That would be cool. Who knows?
yeah,
I'm just trying to
we
think
don't know
of
how
like
far
notable
back this
parent.
line.
I,
We have no idea
maybe,
what your dad's done. Or who.
I got nothing. My family history is one generation, and I didn't even know my parents were what they were until like last week. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm not sure.
yeah, no,
I,
I know that feeling.
by the way, I called it last episode. Yondas is the person who's going to save the entire universe. He's going to
When
do
that
it.
Well,
when that
as if he gets it
crystal
there.
when that crystal worked and it like let me the me I'm not Yondis let Yondis not get frozen in time like everyone else. I was like, yeah, this thing's important. And I told Jake immediately after that session, I was like, Jake, dude, I think I can fix time and get your character back. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I found this thing that I think can fix time. And then I don't remember. I mentioned to Scott about it. I was like, hey, Scott, can I fix time with the crystal I found? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, I figured it out. I know what it is now. Honestly, he just sold it bad. If he was like, no, 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 then I probably would have been like, nah, that's stupid. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. But he said, I don't know. And he took a very long pause before and after. I saw a bead of sweat go down his brow. And I was like, I've cracked the code. So I knew a week early that that was going to be the case. And then he also told us how Rayron was going to go out. I don't know why he did. But he was like, yeah, he was like, I got this whole plan set up, and then he told it to us. He's like, oh, but don't tell them, please, because I'm thinking about saving it because I was gonna do it when Kingmaker was gonna leave, and then they didn't have to leave, so now I don't have to do it yet. So I'm saving it just for the right time, but please don't tell them because I might do it. I'm not sure. And then he does it the next week. Come on, Scott.
I'm not gonna lie though. Last episode when we had Cell on, Cell and Steve had me convinced that I was wrong about the crystal. I was like, yeah, yeah, I'm probably wrong about the damn crystal because I was convinced, like, that crystal was there before Abstergo 13, and the only
We
reason
didn't
he's
know it
up
was there.
there.
We didn't know it was there before him at that point.
Oh, okay, yeah,
We
because you
found that
guys
out
had.
this one. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's the crystal has something to do with the thing, and he was like, not according to what we heard, and I was like, shit. All right, fine.
Misinformation spreads quickly.
Wahahaha.
Vince, you were snubbed. You could have had that. You could have been the first one. You could have been the theory crafter. But
Oh,
nope.
I not to like the episode we got Yondis, the episode that Yondis first met with his mother and his teacher. I already like theorized that was what happened. So I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. Possibly I knew too. I didn't, but it's possible I knew too. And if I keep saying it, then everyone might think I am a high int player. So, of course, yeah, you might have been the first. We should probably actually talk about the session, though. I'm sorry.
Nah, dude, yeah, this is a fun episode. Don't worry about it.
You know what? Okay, so Abstergo 13. Sorry, I'm just going to jump cut this because there is another thing I wanted to mention, but it's like right after the part we were talking about. So
Okay.
Abstergo 13 basically tells us all the information we need to know. He spoon feeds it to us like we're children, and then he's like, "Yeah, I can." And then the thing with Rayron happens. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Okay, I didn't watch that whatever season 1 episode of Kingmaker was. So even though Scott explained it to me, I didn't understand what was happening. And then when it happened in real time, I was like, yeah, I still don't get it. So if one of you guys could please explain to me
Okay.
what just happened.
So made a deal with the devils, right? That deal involved a bunch of ooze that oozes a bunch of souls. Those souls
Okay,
were
so
supposed to have gone to
Giannis's session 0 when he was on the boat and he was going through that lake and it had
yeah,
ooze over the top layer. And be like, this is weird. Those were souls,
yeah,
and that was a deer, right?
yep.
That was so the soul. So the reason that they were souls, like Steve is saying, is because of a curse. It's part of the a deer curse. And season 1 was all about Kingmaker crew going around and trying to figure out the curses and break the curses so they can become kings later on
Mm-hmm.
in season 2. And then I'll let
So yeah, there because there's all their own keeps and all the curses, right? There's one underneath Hordgwen amongst the sewers and that sort of thing, which is basically full of ooze. They emptied the keep of ooze, and that's how they broke the curse. That's how the ooze ended up in the water that Yondis went through on the boat, that sort of thing. And Rayron, they ended up having to fight devils, and they keep blaming me for a curse on that one, but I didn't actually drop a curse on that one. That was entirely test rolling and one on a summoning scroll, which ended up summoning a devil, and then that devil summoned another devil, and then
Oh,
yeah, and they realized they couldn't fight him, so they made a deal like, okay, let us just clear the curse of this keep, and you can have the land and that sort of thing, and if we come back, you own our souls and that sort of thing. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. And then Rayron decides to go back there for some fucking stupid reason. Ends up almost dying again, and they're like, "We're gonna have your soul," and this thing like, "No, I got this offer for you. See all this slime? You might want it." Devil sticks a finger in to the ooze, takes a sip. Oh, these are souls. Okay, there's probably about 10,000 here. Like, yeah, so give us power, please. And an imp. So that Alphaedra pumped into the thing. And
well, the main reason he did it was because one, they Hardwin was having a water shortage, and
I
they
can
were
imagine why, really.
yeah. Well, they were so the way Hardwin was doing it is that in order to get water for your family or whatever, you had to join the military because they planned on taking over a deer at that point. So
mm,
in order to lower the forces again that Valorant would have to fight, Raven thought having those souls be out of the way was the best way to do things so that normal people can have water. And also during the deal, he made it so that the devils wouldn't have their souls automatically
Well, no,
because you went back
destroyed the old deal in favor of this deal.
yeah,
So
there you go.
nullified the old
So
deal to make this deal happen. Yeah.
okay.
that's the whole Raven sold 10,000 souls thing.
Yeah, and those 10,000 souls were all belonged to the Ooze plane, and that pissed off the Ooze god, who sent someone to go collect them. When he was at a point where all the planes were pretty much right there, as was explained during this episode, where Eleven could feel all the planes in that area.
Gotcha.
And so they probably found them pretty easy from um, Raven being there.
Okay, so Rayron gets eaten by a slime, and we try to stop it, and I tried to stun it, and it didn't work. And the slime eats them, and then they're gone. Whoosh, they're gone. And okay, so why was there a little person growing
So in
that
that
happened
keep,
to be someone that I do?
yeah, in that keep, Raven failed a perception check and basically had like a almost like a face hugger sort of encounter in there
With the slime?
with a slime. Like it was searching around a bunch
Oh,
of beds and that sort of thing, looking under a bed, and all of a sudden a piece of slime jumps out and attaches itself to his neck and that sort of thing, and all of a sudden he can't remember what the heck happened and that sort of thing. It was like walking around the back.
Mm.
So this entire time he's had that on the back of his neck.
Since season 1.
Yeah.
So I want to commend Scott because I think after they actually remembered that Raven had the the parasite on his neck, he immediately turned that into the girl that we've been all talking about recently,
yeah.
which is just great, dude.
I'm sorry, first of all. The whole Yondas thing where all right, rewinding back a bit more. Yondas, or actually, it'd be forward from where we are in the
Mm.
flashback, but still a flashback. Um, Yondas is traveling from the where he all the orcs died, and he's like, "Oh, this sucks," and he's traveling home to uh, Bard, Osto. Is
Oh,
that what it's
sorry,
called?
that's Piran.
It's
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
It's towards the south and Bard's towards the west against the Malta.
Oh,
mm,
okay. So I think it's Osto. That's where his family lives,
Yeah.
and he's traveling there, and he happens to go through this little time storm. Whoa! And then he walks into a town full of mole people. He doesn't know are mole people, and he just sees a bunch of slave parent there. Um, and he approaches one, and he's like, "Hey, I've been traveling for some time. Do you have food and water that I could have? I can pay you some gold for it." And she was very excited. He gave her 2 gold for it, and then she's like, "Thank you," like Pokemon waving in the sunset as Yondas walks away. So now back to the present, not flashback anymore. This little slime person grows up into that woman,
Yeah. Well,
like
Rowan
from
also
a
had
little
yeah, Rowan also
flubber
had a
situation.
yeah, Rowan also had a time situation where he met her too and gave her another gold.
dude, she was so excited about those 2 gold that Yandis gave her. It was like she was gonna change her entire life because Yandis gave her 2 gold because he was given food. Like
Yeah,
she was
so
so excited.
she bought her freedom and then somehow became slime. That's why I'm confused.
Yeah,
How was she
everyone
slime for so long?
the curse in that keep turned everyone that was there into that slime, into that soul slime.
Mhm.
And everyone else was all congregated, and it seems that she must have separated somehow. So either that means she was pretty
Uh,
powerful, or just lucky.
if she bought her freedom, she could have been leaving, going somewhere else, and
But
then just happened to be like,
she was still in that place
yeah,
when the curse hit. So she
yeah.
could have been about to leave or anything like that, or she could have gone there and got a job there or something like that after being free
It's
or whatever.
possible.
But either way, she was still there when the curse hit, and that turned her into a slime. And
I just thought about this. What if
She crawled
she
under her
was?
bed.
Yeah, I mean, well, my thing I was gonna say is, what if all the slime were just Perrin, and then the only reason she was able to have like consciousness even while a slime is because she had so much hope for the future at that point
either
in
of that
time.
would have been affected by all the freaking time shenanigans and meeting all these time travelers.
Well, yeah, that would be the reason she has so much hope in the begin with, because otherwise she'd just be another fucking Perrin slave. That's
So
interesting.
she hid under a bed and hoped to be human or parent again for hundreds of years, only to jump at Rayrin and absorb herself into his neck, and then sit there for like a year or so, and then just happen to grow and pop out at the top of this tower like that.
Yeah.
It just seems, I don't know, like there's definitely, there's definitely some way that these pieces all connect, but I'm sure that was just Scott throwing in a funny bit. But like, if that's a thing that's gonna be like a thing for a while, I think there might be something else to it. Like if Scott planned on that happening for her specifically to be it, there might be something else with her. She
Yeah,
might be a little important.
yeah,
Oh, she's definitely gonna be important now. But I think it was just cool for chat to see it originally. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
but now
I
that
was
you guys
tempted
are
to
bringing
stomp
her
on
out,
it, by
it's
the way.
important. Wait, you were
When she
tempted to
was
what?
when she was growing from this little pea to full size, I was tempted to be like, yeah, Elijah stomps on it to make it stop growing. But that wasn't necessary. I was like, yeah, let's just see what happens. There's no point. It's becoming something.
Yeah. It could be some
So
sort of connection with the ooze plane helping it grow, or combination with the time
yeah,
growing
that's
really freaking
possible.
fast up top there. Probably could also.
That could also be it. Yeah. Um. So now going to the thing I actually wanted to talk about. After Abstergo 13 brought us back to the present, Back to the Future. After he brought us back to the future, we're all top of this tower, and he starts leaving. I asked Scott, I said, "Is there something? Can I get one more question to Abstergo 13, or is it too late?" And Scott was like, "Yeah, it's too late. I'm sorry." The thing I wanted to ask was, um, I wanted to get from Abstergo 13, where is Jen Mollis? Where did she
I
go?
don't know.
How can I find her?
I don't know, but
And
I really
never know.
don't suggest you guys find it.
Never know.
Yeah.
She's got some. She's got, I'm sure, more information than we got
Oh,
from
oh,
Abstergo.
definitely. But her
Yeah.
personality is not a good one. She's definitely an evil character. So
That's good to know. I'll keep my eyes peeled.
And from what Steve told me, she's like a hardcore Peridot enthusiast. So,
well,
and
it's
you're
just
from a
a case of okay, I want power. How am I going to get power? Oh, we're in an empire that's conquering the world. I'm going to make myself powerful here, and fuck anyone else that gets in my way. So, yeah, yeah,
Now I'm scared.
yeah.
um,
Fortunately, she's lower level than you guys when I last saw her, but she's been with Abstergo 13 the entire time, so I don't know how that's going to freaking turn
Yeah.
out.
Now there's. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I.
And then you said student. You said
uh,
that the Lopers were his students now. I'm like, oh
yeah, dude.
fuck.
yeah. Maybe we shouldn't have let him go like that. Although I don't think that we could do anything if he can control time. There's no way to like. I was gonna say it's a really bad idea to fight him while he's still in control of time. And two, even after he's done controlling time, this guy's been alive for thousands of years controlling time. He's probably got some other spells or something. Like at the very least, he could probably one shot us all. But
He's supposed to have mastered all the freaking different achievements that are at that temple as well. So
yeah, maybe he's just a divine being now that we just leave alone. Maybe he'll go do something in another plane. Bother the other plane people.
Yeah.
Like Redicide Planeswalker or Auroran Planeswalker. I'm sorry, Auroran Planeswalker. Maybe he'll do something with them. That would be cool if he just leaves our little band of heroes alone and just goes after Rayron for more.
oh.
That'd be awesome.
And Tyler was wanting to fight him. I was just like, please fight him,
No.
please fight him, please just you fight him, please. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I was laughing because of something that Neil said. Regicide committed regicide on the Kingmaker crew.
Yeah. No, he's right. He's right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Scott wanted. Maybe Scott was trying his best.
Oh man. Oh yeah, we forgot
He
to
was
talk
good.
about Ellen and where he went. Ellen, after seeing Rayron get swept away by
Oh yeah,
the messenger from the ooze
slime
plane,
guy. Yeah.
I
yeah,
mentioned the
he
chest in
decided.
chat, and he goes, "Oh yes, let's use the chest," and he goes to go jump in. It's like you could have just. I was just suggesting maybe you can use the chest to get some clothes for this person that's popped up in the temple naked. No, you want to jump in the chest and go freaking where? How
Yeah,
does
he's
that follow?
Illa knew what he was doing, and then he rolled a 24.
Well, the thing is,
The
both
wrong
me and
card.
Naga typed it at the same time. And on my screen, it showed it me at the top, and usually whoever's at the top's the one that rolled it. So, but
Yeah,
everyone
I
said,
Myself,
saw
not.
the 24 at the top.
mm,
Hmm. Which sucks. Although I wonder, okay, sorry. So he jumps in the chest, and then he was like, "Oh, 75% chance you go to the whatever plane you want to go to." And he's like, "Oh, I want to go to the positive one." Okay, great. And he rolls lower
24.
than a 25 by 1 point. So then he ends up falling into the negative plane, right? That's what it's called, the
"Yep,
negative plane.
yep, negative energy plane,
Okay.
positive energy plane."
Yeah, so he's going there now. But I honestly I think he might fare well in the negative one or better anyway. Although yeah, when he comes off
Once
his
he,
high, it's going to be rough.
once he comes off his high, and once he runs out of spell slots, he's fucked.
Yeah.
Because you have to be able to constantly keep
Yeah.
yourself healing, because that place is going to continuously damage you. If you went to the positive energy plane, being able to heal is a bad idea because you'll
Yeah.
overheal and pop. One of my characters almost did that.
I guess he could just start beating himself up.
Yeah,
Start like
but the
stabbing
healing
himself.
will ramp up to the point where you're gonna have to be like cutting off an arm the entire fucking
Ah,
time doing that much
oh, it
damage.
ramps. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so he doesn't have a lot of time down there. And if he comes down from his medicinal high right now, while
Mhm.
he's taking continuous damage and he can't do anything that he wants to do, he might need to roll a second character, which would be fun.
Well, technically third, because
Third character,
he
sure.
had
Yeah,
one before this that died too.
yeah. Tesh, he's he's got some characters. He's got some characters.
Yeah,
He might get one more.
yeah. Each time
Here's a
it's
fun fact: Regicide is the only campaign who still has their chest. So
Yeah,
because now Kingmaker's chest belongs to Regicide. I think he said their chest went into where
yeah.
Reem.
They
So
fused together, I guess.
and Thronekeeper just gave theirs away. So
Hmm.
you guys are the only people with chests now.
Great. I'm gonna start leaving notes. We gotta collect all 3 chests to unlock super chest.
Now that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm worried about what the Arbiter is doing right now because Kingmaker seemed to care a lot about what the Arbiter was doing right now.
Um,
Something about
You said you didn't want to know, so I don't want to tell you.
is there a divine war going on? Is that what he was saying?
yep.
Okay, I'm fine with
So
that. That's fine.
yeah, let's just
Maybe Regicide's killing the God King. Maybe that's what our whole objective is.
Mm.
I don't like that you both raised your eyebrows when I said that.
I mean,
I was joking, guys. Right?
yeah,
Right?
no,
yes,
you're
yes.
you're in a JRPG now. Your objective is to kill God.
Okay. Yeah. Easy. Divine aside,
yes,
we get rebranded too. So going back to the story that was being told last night, Baldy leaves us,
Yeah.
and Raven's gone, Illin's gone. It's just Kroll left, who's played by Scott at this point. So really, the whole Kingmaker crew is gone. Um, and Kroll decides. Well, first there was who was it? The
Esmond.
guy who took over before
Esmond,
Esmond. Yeah,
yeah.
Esmond was on the thing, and Esmond's like, "I'm gonna tune to it. I'm gonna roll with time." And we're like, "No, don't do it." And then he did it anyway, and it worked out pretty well. We all de-aged a few years. We're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I feel a lot younger." And then Kroll's like, "All right, time for me to get on." And I was gonna say, "Hey, before you go on, maybe we should leave." I was trying to say that, but I guess it didn't happen. I was like,
No.
"All right, bye." But they were like, "Nope, you're just standing there. You said bye. You're waving. You're just standing there." I'm like, "Okay." And then Kroll gets on, and he's like, "Time." Scott's like, "Yeah, he's got this crazy wisdom save. He's gonna be great. Roll the die. It's a 1. That's an automatic saving throw failure."
Yeah.
Oh, great. And then Rena somehow immune again. She's
Yeah.
fine.
How did she get
Good.
immune, dude?
It was Constitution
I don't know.
rolls, and she's got that arm which helps with the Constitution saves.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And he
Cadis
goes,
de-aged again, right? Cadis de-aged twice?
no, the second
Yeah.
time he was immune as well.
Oh, he passed it. That's right. And then Ophios, boy, he de-aged a lot. He went from
I
an
don't think
8-year-old,
Babyface begins to cover it.
yeah, 8-year-old hero snake full adult male to egg. To egg.
Yeah.
He's an egg.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know what's gonna happen there. And then someone used the cursed on me. Someone cursed me from the beginning of the campaign. I guess Scott was like, "Hey, there's an unused cursed on Elijah."
It wasn't the
And I'm like,
beginning. I saw it come in like after the break. Like,
"Oh, okay." He said it was from a while ago, so I thought he meant the beginning. So I rolled 4d4 for my age, and I'm aging at this point because I rolled an odd on my 1d420 roll. So I aged up 14 years.
I mean, it was pretty nice the way the dice rolled because you got 2 1s, but you also got 2 6s. But
That's I love to hear that.
you got
So now I'm a 44-year-old man. Again, I was 30 when I started this 6 months ago.
yeah.
And then
You
I
aged
became
6
30,
years, and then you got those 6 years
and I
back,
became
and
30 again, and then I became 44. Yeah. I'm gonna
No, man.
okay. From Commander Barnes' perspective, this is gonna look so stupid. We're all
yeah,
gonna walk out. Rena's gonna look perfectly fine. Cadis is gonna look like his young self again. I'm gonna be an old man. I'm gonna be like grayed. I'm gonna be like my eyes are failing me. I mean, 44. I know it's not that old. I'm over exaggerating, but like
oh, don't
I'm gonna
worry,
be like,
Scott will know that feeling pretty soon.
yeah, we're all going there. We're all headed that direction, buddy. And then we got an egg with us. So the 3 people he sent in, 2 of them have changed, one hasn't, and they have an egg now. And she's gonna say, "Where's Rayron?" We're gonna be like, "Honestly,
You don't want to know. You don't want to
I,
know.
I really don't know. Maybe the ooze dimension, the ooze plane, if you believe in it. I don't know."
She's not going to believe this straight away.
Oh, and then we have this random lady with us.
Yeah, randomly,
Did she even roll? Did she age or de-age? I don't remember.
I think she was safe from it. I think he was saying.
Yeah, she didn't get affected.
How did she pass it? How'd she
I,
pass
I
the
don't even
same?
know if it's. I don't even know if it's something from her being partially oozed.
Possibly, it could be her being oozed. Yeah, that's my slime girlfriend, guys.
Yeah, and she's only got a cloak. She's only got a cloak.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to the beginning, when I said if I knew how to work the dust, I would have done this thing. Okay, I'm sorry I made the NPC stand there naked for like a while. Okay, I didn't know what to do. I made Elijah go try to find clothes, but his hand passes through them. Only Ophios can pick stuff up. Thanks for letting me know, Scott. Thanks for reminding me. My high int character definitely would have forgotten that. Um, so I come back
I,
up and I'm like, "Hey, I found some clothes, but I can't pick them up. Sorry, you're just gonna have to be naked, I guess. I don't know." And then I was like, "Wait, I'm wearing clothes. Take my shirt." And I gave her my shirt.
and
And
Rita
everyone's
gave
like,
her her
"Yeah,
old cloak, the one that's not magical. So she has that
sure,
shirt
yeah."
and cloak.
She had two shirts on and nothing else. And then someone in the chat was like, "Why didn't you just use your dust to make clothes?" And I was like, "Why would anyone want clothes made out of cement? That doesn't make sense." And then everyone told me I'm stupid, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Okay, so that was my big apology. I'm sorry. I'm hoping Scott lets me retcon it and just be like, "Hey, I totally would have not gone downstairs and instead spent that time to make it pants." I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, she's a slave, so she's probably used to being naked in front of a bunch of guys
Yeah,
anyway.
Scott was like, instead of being like covered up, she's like, "Oh, she's relaxed. She's arms down by her side." I'm like, Scott, that doesn't make me feel any more comfortable right now. If anything, that hurts. This makes it a
Yeah.
lot harder for me to come to terms with what's happening. And I'm the only one apparently trying to do something because everyone else is like, "Nah, forget about it. She's just gonna be naked." And I'm like, "What? No."
I mean,
That's
one person's a female, one person's an egg, and
Cadis. I don't know. Cadis could have done something. Maybe does Kroll need clothes anymore? Could we have taken his stuff? I don't know. We just kind of left him with all his stuff up there.
Mhm.
Also, we never really got a resolution on how Kroll's doing after that big time explosion. If he was able to control time, we didn't get that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, did you
that's
really want to stay up there and get another 14 years to find out?
no. Okay, so going back to what I told you at the beginning, there were some things that we didn't get done that Scott said he wanted to do. One of those things was that there was supposed to be a Yonda segment
Damn
yesterday,
it!
and it didn't
That's
happen.
favorite segments. What the hell?
Yeah. Oh, shit, did he tell me not to say that? Hold on. Let me check. I okay, so I messaged him at 3:43 a.m. and I said, "So Yonda's bit next session, right?" And he said, "Yes, it would have happened this session if we didn't run so late." And then I
Mm.
said, "No more, please." At
I mean,
3:45, no more, please.
I
I'm
was I
so
was
tired.
kind of expecting it to be like 5 hours because just how many people were on. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it
six and a
almost
half hours. Yeah.
yeah, perfect. Perfect amount of time. 6.5 hours. After a long day at work, it's 3 a.m. I'm still feeling spry. You know me. I'm a young guy who stays up late. No, I was so tired. I was tired, and I felt like I was 44 in real life. Good thing we ended
I
when
was,
we did.
to be honest, I was good until after the session ended, and then all my adrenaline disappeared, and then I was instantaneously tired.
Honestly,
Instantaneous.
I don't know what the point of doing all those trials were. I don't think that did anything for us. The only one that was useful was the one Kroll did.
Scrolls.
So I I know that was probably 2 or 3 hours we just wasted in trying to attune to all these things, and it was fun. Sure, we thought we were doing something, but it didn't really build up to the thing that we thought it was building up to. So that's cool.
It's probably one of the things that he couldn't like
It
do
might,
because
yeah, it might have been something that he was like, okay, that's not going to work because they're taking way too long, taking forever. So yeah, maybe we'll get that eventually, but probably not. I don't think we're gonna have another time temple. I think this is it. I think we're gonna
Yeah,
walk out as
that's
heroes who don't fail and everything goes well. And Commander
You might
Barnes will be
actually
like,
have one
"Oh,
more because she might make you go back in again with her.
if time's fixed and Kroll's running it, Kroll's running the show right now for time. Does that not sit weird with anyone? Like that makes
yes.
Oh,
me really uncomfortable.
It's
there's
not
going to be a
just Kroll.
lot of old mole shit popping up again, probably.
It's not
Yeah.
just
And
Kroll.
oh, in your
So
notes, you wrote, sorry, Vance, to quote you, you said, I thought Daelric was gonna take Elijah as the sacrifice to the time altar. I
yes,
thought so too, dude. I was like, well, here we go.
dude.
My
I was in
character's
chat like, don't you steal Elijah, you bastard! Don't do it. Oh yeah,
um
because he's been saying like he's trying to get Yondas back into the party, and I was
mhm.
like, oh god, he's gonna take this time to do
Yeah,
it. Yondas is gonna be
yeah.
in Hot Gwen. Oh, he's gonna take this time to do it. He's gonna steal Elijah from us.
Behind the scenes, Scott has openly admitted to more than once trying to kill Elijah. Like bending the rules a little bit in his favor to get that extra, 5-10% chance that Elijah dies. Specifically Elijah. So
Listen,
I'm feeling a little targeted. So when I walked in
Elijah
there and
dies
he's like, "Well,
alright.
I'm gonna have to stay here," I was like, "It's either me or Kroll. I know it's either me or Kroll because Kroll's new. He's got two people in him, and then when he left, I was like, I think it's Kroll. I think it's gonna be Kroll.
yeah, yeah.
So I was
What
glad to be right.
once all of Kingmaker started disappearing, I knew it was gonna be Kroll. But before they
Yeah.
started disappearing, I was like, oh, he's gonna take Elijah from us. Elijah's gonna do the noble thing because he's a good
Yeah.
character.
And then think about that interaction when, because I knew that the crystal was going to be useful. I was pretty sure the crystal was going to go on this altar. So I was like, in my mind, I was like, would he take Elijah only for Yondis to walk up here and be in the same space as Elijah? And then they're going to have a conversation about what happened. I'm like, Scott wouldn't do that to me, right? Scott wouldn't make me roleplay Elijah and Yondis talking to each other about each of their backstories.
Well,
Like, he wouldn't do that.
if Elijah went on there, he would have gone the same way as Esmond, pretty much, because they're both human. So it would have been a really old Elijah talking to Yondas.
That's true.
Yeah, a 55-year-old Elijah, maybe. I don't know
I
why, but
think
for
about
some reason in my mind, every year Elijah gets is really 10 years. Like when he
maybe
goes
it's
from
company
44
you
to
keep.
45, lose all his hair, he'll get all these wrinkles and crow's feet and shit. He's gonna be like, "Oh, I can't move on my own anymore. That's fine." And then I'm like, "What happens when he hits 60?" It's gonna be like, you guys ever see that episode of SpongeBob with the chocolate salesman?
Yep.
That's Elijah at 60.
Don't remember that episode.
Chocolate,
What?
chocolate,
What did he say?
chocolate.
He's selling chocolate. I remember when they first invented chocolate.
I always hated
Yeah,
this
that'd
stuff.
be Elijah.
I
Yeah,
remember
that's it.
now.
Elijah would be in a wheelchair.
Chocolate makes
Rena
you
would be pushing.
younger. No, 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 no.
Yeah. Come to the time temple. It makes you younger. No, no. Don't
Man,
tell them. Yeah. Anyway,
listen,
that's all she wrote, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that pretty much tells you everything.
plan of attack for Regicide. You guys know that Kingmaker's out of the way now. Rena
Ears open.
becomes chosen of the blade. Yeah, Rena becomes chosen of the blade. Elijah becomes chosen
Don't know
of
what
the
that means.
quill,
Don't know what that
and
means
we
either.
get to
It's leadership positions and Valorants that keep what you kill with, sort of thing.
and Yondas, gets to do his Yondas stuff. Yeah.
Yandis gets to be himself.
Well, Yondas gets to save the entire universe because that's what's gonna happen. Because if he doesn't get
Yeah, but
the
no one's
Emperor
gonna
out of
He's gonna do it by himself. He's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm Kroll. I'm the keeper of time." And I'm like, "Oh, I thought that this crystal was the keeper of time." You have the crystal with you? Yeah, my mom had it.
that's exactly.
I'll be like, "Put it down." I wonder if I'll have to. Ooh, I wonder if Yondas will have to fight Kroll because Kroll might want to be the emperor.
The Emperor probably Kroll
Yeah.
no, but the Emperor probably.
The Emperor
Dude,
of Time is a scary thing.
Yeah.
he's gonna fuck up so much shit.
Oh yeah. Because he really was
Or to,
hard done by Rayron.
I hope Grishka comes back.
Same.
Oh yeah, that's what I actually have here in my notes. Is that
Yeah, I
I
read
guess
that.
you were reading that. Yeah, is that it's sad to see Kroll go, but we get some more Grishka, which
Yeah.
it's a Roaring Planewalker, so you know he's in a different plane of existence. If we don't get Grishka, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah. Although I wonder if Kingmaker is going to take a break for a while. Like Aurora Planeswalker might be something that doesn't happen right away. There might not be the Kingmaker crew for a while. Is all. That's all. Sorry. That might
There's
be
your
too much.
announcement.
That might be too much. That might be too much. I'm sorry. Sorry, Daylor. Just a really long censor sound, and then us discussing whether or not we should leave it in, and then
That'd be a good bit, actually. Beep.
It's like it's a freaking like emergency channel sort of thing. Like, please stand by.
yeah, we can pretend
So-
like I was saying something really awful,
Mm.
but we don't need to pretend. Yeah.
but yeah, man, this was a really good, great, amazing week. Unfortunately, there was no Throne Keeper, but you know,
What else is there? Maybe we'll run into them next. You know, Regicide, we were trying to decide between should we go to Amulta or should we go back to the Time Temples. Now I'm seeing that we're choosing which campaign to partner with. Maybe we'll go to
Yeah.
Amulta next. I mean, Elijah. I mean, okay, let's be honest. Elijah's got to go back to Amulta at some point, right? Like he's learned too much to just die and not report back.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go back probably pretty soon, especially now that he's 44 years old. He doesn't have much life left in him. So
I feel
Dude,
as
that's
well
maybe
in those shoes at one point.
maybe that's the next bet. That might be it. We'll see. It's up to Scott.
It might be a safe place to raise a baby Ophius.
That would be a wonderful light. You have given Steve. That's such a good idea. I'm going to suggest that. I'm going to. Hey, Rena, Tyler, you don't get a say because you're an egg. Maybe we should take what we got and go to a Multa and raise our son, our snake son. I think he needs a good fatherly figure, and he needs to grow up in an environment that he can really thrive in. I think a Malta has good school systems. One, they've got great mages too. We can maybe learn how to deal with magic better. We could teach them the alphabet.
They can train him to be a
Like all
fighter
of
as
them.
well, because everyone has to.
We can put them on the wall. Yeah, put the egg on top of the wall and see what happens.
that is the number one thing that Green has been.
Ophius Humpty Dumpty.
That wall's so tall. By the time he hits the bottom, he's already hatched.
Yeah, by the time he's got there, yeah.
But that's gonna be it, everyone.
One more thing. Sorry, it is canon that molten children, between father and I shouldn't say father, between parent one and parent two, a great pastime that these children have is they're actually thrown from the top of the wall, and then one parent is at the bottom, and they're just waiting to catch the child as they come down. So that's what we do. We do that in Malta. So we've only lost a few kids that way. Frankly, it's like a rite of passage at this point. And sometimes they fly. So
it's how you separate the weak from the strong.
yeah, exactly. The weak don't catch the kid.
I mean, the mole have done way worse.
And the strong children grow wings and they fly off into the sunset. They go somewhere else. You can cut that out. That's so stupid. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah, no, keep it. I don't care. Whatever. I've already ruined my reputation. I stream weekly on Daelric's channel. Everyone knows I'm just a terrible human by now who's not funny at all. So there you go.
Everyone has their moments.
hashtag free Messi. Daelric did say that he would not boot you from the call. That's the number one. I
Yeah,
will
what
agree.
the hell, dude? He so lied. He straight up lied. All because he hated my background and my hat, and I said something he didn't like, I guess. Whatever. You still learn to, listen to other people sometimes. You can't just be so self-centered.
Oh
Anyway,
man.
I think That's it.
But everyone, yeah, that's gonna be it,
I heard
guys.
that's Scott.
Yeah, huge
Sorry.
thank you to Messi for coming on the
Well,
podcast. It was
yeah, thanks
great
for
having
starting
you.
early for me. I appreciate that. That was cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'll probably still taking just about as much time anyway. So.
Yeah, well, we got the extra half hour in. I'm
yeah,
starving. I'm gonna go eat.
everyone, thank you for all the support you've been showing the podcast and all that goodness. Thank you, Delric. You did an amazing job on this crossover episode.
It's
Hilarious
nice to have all the
when you
cast.
guys.
Then
Yeah,
Frankie
no, he
Fifth
did.
and
It was hilarious when you guys almost didn't go into the almost didn't go
Yeah.
into the
What
temple.
did he say? He said, well,
But
I made a whole overlay. I think that's what he said. You're not going in. I made a whole overlay.
I made an overlay.
Yeah. Okay,
honestly,
Delric.
honestly, he should have just stampeded the temporal filters in to make everyone run into it.
That would have been cool. Yeah, one escaped, huh?
What
Put it
escape?
away.
Yeah,
Hmm.
One of them turned to
Anyway, sorry.
Malta.
Your
But
closing statements, please, Vance.
yeah, no, just thank you, thanking him for amazing job. He's
Yeah,
stressed
works
with all
hard.
the extra crap he's doing, so and
Come
thank
on.
you for all the um the cast members, dude. Like you guys came out,
Oh,
especially Kingmaker,
no,
jumping on
no,
all kinds of
don't do
weird
that.
times.
Don't thank us.
We thank you
Bad
anyway.
happens anyway.
Don't thank us.
If we don't do it this
No,
week, we're gonna do it next week. So
there's a few people I can name that just listen to you saying that. They just keep it stored on their phone. They just every hour on the hour they plug their headphones in, they play it, and it's just you looping. Thank you, cast members. Thank you, cast members. Hey, well, thanks again for all the cast members. And they're just like, yes, I need this, and I don't want them to have that.
are
Okay?
you talking about your doppelganger? According to
No.
Scott's wife, your
Neil?
doppelganger.
Yeah, I'm referring specifically about Neil. Well, I guess I might as well drop the name. Yeah, Neil. Neil and
Uh,
Rena, surprisingly. Yeah. You didn't think she'd be like that.
oh no,
Yeah.
no, actually I didn't.
Yeah, no, she all the time. All she does is just listen to other people talk about her. She wouldn't she's a little she doesn't want to talk about it because she thinks it's like a bad image. But no, like honestly, like if you messaged her right now, she'd be like, "Oh, I was just listening to you." You know, she'd say that. She would.
You know what? Then I'm gonna give you, Rena, a special shout out this week. Thank you.
No, don't do that. Oh no. Her ego. You know, Rena's all ego. So you just ruined her. Kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Everyone who doesn't know this is sarcasm, just straight sarcasm. I'm sorry. Rena's like the nicest person on the planet. She doesn't care what all the people think about her.
Right.
That's also a joke. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm done. All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep.
I'm gonna be on Lost Initiative soon. Can I say that? I'm gonna
Yeah,
be in
you
the
can. We already know. Yeah.
in the Witcher campaign. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be in 2 campaigns. You guys doing a podcast for that too? You should.
Oh, well, you
All
see,
of Aurora and this one LI show.
Scott's about to launch a fourth.
Fourth show as well. So it's, if Kingmaker stops, maybe we can fit one of them in.
LI, you can do podcasts for each. You can film right after their shows 5 days a week. Make it a full-time thing. Might as well, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Now that we're announcing LI stuff, the Discord's open, so
Yeah.
join that. Maybe we can do a podcast now.
I'm just. You don't need to do a podcast for LI.
I know.
But if you were, you would need to announce it right now.